all in all, I'm just going to go on a quick trip on my own today, just on the low water. I'm only going to shoot 8 nets, but that's too good a day to miss. Look at the weekend looked awful, so if I don't do today, I ain't going. There's a southerly breeze. I don't know how good that'll be when I'm trying to launch the boat. I hope that don't blow the boat around too quickly, and then I'll be buggered, but I've got to give it a go, and bit of sun, make it feel loads better, doesn't it? I want to see a bit of sun off all these miserable windy old days. Well, I'm just moving to the south of the ebb tide that'll push us to the north and just moving along. Not too bad off here, there's a few bits of southerly roll in the water. They said there would be, that's why I come on the ebb. That's dropped below the bank, a bit of a roll here earlier, and that's hard work launching on my own. Way to the low water. The swell dropped below the banks, and that's lovely in here now. I had to time a couple of waves when I was launching, but apart from that, that was easy doable on your own. Obviously you've got to be a bit more cautious when you're self-launching. You've got no one else to rely on you. So you've got to be safe at all times. So you've got to basically do a mini risk assessment in your head when you launch. Worth it, it's worth hurting yourself or damaging your boat for any amount of fish. Well, I got the net chute on, just got to tie the downs on and get them ready. Simple knot, pull through once, then twice. Tied on. Once. Twice. Sorry. That's the launching anchor. Just going to run a little bit further to the southern. We'll get a bit of time over Stickham's Corner. Stickham's Corner is the name they give to the water just off the Yarmouth Point. I don't know why they call it Stickham's, but they always have done. That roll and boil a bit on just off the point there. Right next to the beach is really deep, that's about 40 odd foot deep. If you get a couple 100 yards off, 300 yards off, that shallow down a bit. And that's what they call Stickham's Corner. One of the old traditional things. God knows why they call them that, but they do. They always have, some of these places have funny old names, don't they? I don't know why they call it Stickham's Corner, but they always do. Look like we're getting nearly ready to shoot, just lining up with a mark. Because that's such a deep water point, the tide moves strong around the point, close in, than it do far off. So you've got to shoot the wrong way. That's funny, that seems weird shooting the wrong way, but if you don't on this point, your inside go around so quickly. Get halfway around the point and you're fishing along the tide, not across it. Well, I'm now just turning the boat around, ready to shoot. That's some of my boat here. Over she goes. Gill was tangled up a bit. It's obviously pulled out now. I bet he's shooting the same as what I have lately. 8 sunk nets, all 2¼ mil, or 2¼ inch mesh, should I say. Just shooting away about 6 knots. Another net and a half to go. They're all them green monos are double nets. I think I'm now going to cut the engine, and that'll be enough. Let the next half net go out on its own. I'll now just tie the Dan on a tizzard on the front of the boat and we'll be fishing. Well, unlike the last couple of trips, there look like a fair amount of herring there today. I don't want too many, so I'm going to keep an eye on the gear. I don't want to get a dollop, especially being on my own. I'll be cleaning all bloody night. But they're good herring marks, they are. They look plenty of fish there. Well, I just pulled the first little bit of netting. Them 2 strops and floats on the end, they were tangled up. Well, they don't fish, do they? But I just pulled them last 2 in and untangled them, so then the nets will sink. They're being held up in the water. But I didn't see any fish in them. But there certainly look tons of fish on the sounder. Hopefully I get them little herring again. That can catch you out, but you don't really get many little herring off Yarmouth. You normally get the little herring down below off Hemsby Way. But I've got to keep an eye on this gear. I don't want too many fish on my own today. That'll be a nightmare. Be nice to get 5 or 6 boxes, that'll do me. So I've got to keep an eye out. I can't see any of the floats lifting yet. But I'll give it, oh, I think I can see 1 float lifting. I've got to keep my eye on these, I don't want too much fish. Well, after seeing all them fish on the side, what are still there, I thought I'd have a look in the gill. I can't see a herring. Maybe they're sprats instead, not herring. But who knows? We ain't looking a lot here, is there? Need to get a few fish today. The last couple of trips have been abysmal. We're getting like 50, 60 herring. Well, I better sort out that float that's now going under the gear and get these back. Well, I don't know what's going on there. It looks like plenty of fish in the water. Look at that, tons of fish in the water. But I ain't getting nothing. Maybe a sprats. That's always been a bit traditional. If you get a southerly wind here, what it is today, you don't get many herring here. But there's plenty of fish showing on the plotter. Or sounder, shall I say. And they must be sprats then if they ain't herring. But they definitely look like herring marks. They look exactly like herring marks. They look like tons of fish here. And these fish, these nets, they've got a 9-foot strop on them and they're fishing about 25 foot deep. So I thought I'd get a few of them, and it's only 30 foot of water. But they don't look much in them. Let's hope they go right on the end of the tide. Maybe it's just the sea's just full of sprats. Who knows? Well, that's just lovely being out here really, even if you don't get a lot. But there look tons on there. But if you don't get a lot, it's a lovely day. I got the old splash screen to keep me out of the wind and a bit of sunshine on you. Can't ask for any better than that. Cup of coffee. What more do you want? It's better than sitting at home on the sofa. But the colour of the water's a lovely colour for herring. But because of the angle of the sun, I can't see the floats very well. I don't really know what they're doing. I can't see any standing up, but I can't see far because the angle of the sun, you can't see the floats in it. Well, the tide is starting to ease now. Has only gone up over a knot because I just had a look in the end, but it's about 0.8, 0.9 knots at the minute. So hopefully there'll be a few fish left, but they look like tons of fish there already. Well, I was down in the pub the other day speaking to a mate and his wife, and they were saying about how much their kids like watching the videos. So a shout out to Ollie and Casey. Thanks for the support, boys and girls. Every watch is appreciated. And I hope you're enjoying your holiday. Soon be back for Christmas. Get used to the cold, because it ain't going to be nice and warm over here at the minute. It's been freezing. Well, look at that, there's tons of fry coming through near the surface. I'm starting to get a feeling that these are all small herring or sprats, because I had 2 or 3 looks at the end and there ain't nothing in it. And there looks so much fish in the water, I'm starting to think these are sprats coming through. The only problem with the EU laws and regulations, we're not allowed to fish for sprats anymore. They changed the discard rules a couple of years ago so that you can't use any nets smaller than 50 mil. So obviously sprat nets are 27 mil, so you're not officially allowed to fish for sprats anymore. I don't understand it, because you can with a trawl. You can catch many sprats you like with a trawl, but you can't catch sprats with drift nets. And that may be different on other parts of the coast, but we don't get much fry and small fish or variety of species here. So in our sprat nets here, all we really get is sprats. Get the odd little heron, but it's mainly just sprats. So I don't know why they banned it for. Well, that's just, we're still ruled by the EU, even though we're not in the EU anymore. That doesn't make sense, do it? I used to love a fry of sprats or some smoked sprats, but they seem like they're a fit thing of the past, unfortunately. I got to say, as the years gone by, there's been less and less people fishing from Caister. Well, if you look there, there's only my tractor on the beach. Years ago, on an average day, you see 6 or 8 tractors, and on a good day, you see a dozen tractors on the beach. That's a shame, really. A lot of people with all the rules and regulations we're subject to now are all packed in. There's 2 boats at Caister what are packed in this year, and there's only about 3 or 4 boats now what regularly go. Such a shame. You come out here for days and you never see another boat. Oh, you see the Williamses off here, but they've got a wet fish shop and they've got a couple of lovely cats, and they're still doing a lot of potting and that sort of thing to supply the shop with crabs and lobsters. But you don't see hardly any other boats that go off anymore. We come out here for a lovely day like this, the only good day this week by look at things, and then another boat off here. That's a shame. There's been so lack of support by the British government for the British fishing industry. That's unbelievable. They do a few token gestures, but that's too late. There's a lot of these pulses and that sort of thing what have destroyed the fishing in the last 20 years, and that's it now. They don't want the fishing industry. Simple as. All these silly rules and regulations, like this boat has got to go for a stability test next year. Well, that's a little 21-foot glorified rowboat. Why did that need a stability test? These boats have been made since about 1999. I think there's an issue with stability. Would have known about it by now. Well, that tide's starting to ease. There's still plenty of fish there, but there doesn't be nothing in the gear. There must be sprats. Well, that's virtually low water now. We've just started up the old power pack just to get it warm before we start the haul. I don't think there's going to be a lot in these. Very disappointing. There's tons of fish showing on the sounder, but don't look any fish in the gear. I don't know what's going on. They all look like either small heron or sprats. Who knows? Well, I'll now get ready to start hauling. I can't have the camera up near the hauler. Hauler for some reason produce a lot of electrical noise and make all the video go funny. So I'll put it near the stern of the boat. I don't know how well you can see that with the sun. There isn't a lot I can do about it. That's a nice whiting, but apart from that, another one. When I got that whiting out, I just coughed up a sprat. Does that tell you something, doesn't it? There's sprats in the water. Sprat in the nets, let me tell you something. The sprats in the water, not herring. Whiting fest today. First herring, whatever next. going to be fish cakes for tea. Another heron, but they're all tiny little heron. Another poor old one. That's 3 heron, enough for the tea. Oh yeah, another one. Many good white amongst them. Looks like a little old thing. First decent heron arse in there now. See that one you just coughed up a sprat? They're all sprats here. biting. Right, I might have half a dozen there now. That's a poor little old bass. We'll get him back, swim another day. We don't want to catch them little old things. Swam off like a bullet. And another poor little bass. Let's see if you can shoot a few bass right near the beach. We'll get him back. That is unfortunately that. Not a lot of fish today, that's for certain. Well, that's that. There isn't a lot of fish there, is there? A few whiting and a few herring, but not a lot. This is the third trip on the trot we've done crap. I imagine them herring have moved out in that deeper water, a couple of mile off the other side of Scrooby. I don't see much herring inside now. Well, if there's sprats here, you never get a lot of sprats and a lot of herring at the same time. For some reason the shoal isn't in a mix. So I imagine them herring are further off. That's very disappointing though. Especially I've got a few anglers want a bit of bait off me. But that's what it is. Well, Well, I'm virtually straight in from the tractor, so that's perfect timing. Perfect timing. As soon as I finish hauling, just head straight in the tractor. Easy peasy. Show you a few more fish. Can't believe it. 3 trips on the trot, got bugger all. Sod's law in it. That's how it's doing it. That's why it's called fishing. Well, that's the end of another trip. Didn't get a lot. I suspect all them fish in the water were sprats, and the herring, and since that northerly swell we had the other week in the storm, all them herring moved outside in that deep water. There looks to be a lot of herring inside now. As I said, there's no other boats off. Talk of the devil, there's Williams' tractor on the beach. I gather he's run out 2-3 mile and gone after the herring in the deep water. That's a lot more comfortable in them cats than it is in a mono-hull boat. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you another time. Hopefully we'll get a bit more fish. See you later. Bye.